Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here at the Greenery with our good friend Carol Guedalia. She's a horticulturist here again at the Greenery. Been here for a long time and you have a plethora of knowledge. You've actually set up a gorgeous little heat tolerant scene for our friends there at home watching Girl Talk. Let's talk about some of these heat tolerant plants. Obviously we're midsummer, so we need this.
Well, I think most people come and it's so hot, they come out, they're dripping, and they go, oh, nothing can live in this situation, or else they just do the same plant. For shade or for sun, there are lots of good options. The big issue is exactly when do you have the sun and do you have deer or bunnies?
Okay.
But there are lots of great plants, and some of the things people underutilize are grasses. And we'll look at some of them in just a minute, but there are lots of different grasses, from huge ones, pampas grass 8 feet, to some of the lower ones which keep at 2 to 2.5 feet.
Okay.
Full sun, deer don't usually like them, they're very tolerant, nice showy material for your garden, to some really lush tropicals. The Ixora, which is right on your corner, that nice yellow, right here.
Oh,
with the big blossoms.
Oh my gosh.
I call it the tropical hydrangea.
I was going to say, it looks like a hydrangea.
It has a similar flower, full sun, deer don't like it. It is a tropical, so it may not overwinter, but excellent plant material.
Would you take it in during the winter? Or
if we have a hard winter, it won't come back. If we have a mild winter, usually they come back. A lot of people do them in containers and move them into a sunroom or a garage.
So that'll be fine. That would be fine.
Yeah.
I'm more of a container gardener, so that's what I always think in terms of containers.
The main thing for people is to figure out how big their area is, and if they're working with, like, this area was already planted, we just plugged a few things in for show.
Right. And
they're all in pots. So you can do a planted area and make that your feature spot and plug in some pots. Or you can add perennials. That's just the major key. Water is the other thing, is to water slow and deep, and it's fairly easy. Vinca on the corner, very simple, annual, takes full sun, deer don't care for it. It can be a little problematic if we have wet spells because it doesn't go from dry to wet well.
Okay.
But there are lots of great plants. The plant just to your left, the little yellow bell.
This one here?
That's an excellent high shade plant.
That's pretty.
It's in the hibiscus family. It's not a favorite of the deer, but they will graze on it. The other thing is right beside you is the Bulbine. That's a succulent. And it blooms this little...
Is that this one here?
Yes.
Okay.
That blooms pretty much year round, off and on.
Now with these, how do you deadhead that?
You just take the stem all the way down.
So once it's
pinch
bloomed
it out,
up,
you just pinch it down. But it's one of those nice things because it's self-blooming, so you don't have to deadhead it in order for it to keep reblooming.
Oh, okay.
One of the most underutilized areas are tropicals. And gingers are one of my favorite plants. As you saw earlier, they're very aromatic.
Oh, it's like honeysuckle.
Coral. This is kind of a yellow. They're also larger flower, white. They bloom in the evening as well.
And there's some different sizes, which is nice.
There are different sizes. They're great perennials. Deer don't usually bother them, and they're so showy.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And now, you've got them cut and in a vase here. Will they last a decent amount of time in a vase?
As long as you keep changing out the water and you cut them when they're fresh, they'll last a long time.
Nice, because to have that scent inside would be great.
Yes, we've got all these different types of elephant ears, excellent perennials, and then we've got a few like this guy that's a tropical.
Is gorgeous.
And it's great for high shade.
It doesn't even look real.
Can utilize them in all kinds of ways. They're just wonderful. And for a container, if you've got just a small spot and you want to bang a color, you could mix this and this little guy right here. Can you reach him?
Oh, yeah, the pink.
Yeah, that's a wonderful perennial.
Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't that great? High shade, lots of filtered light. Sometimes the deer like it, sometimes they don't, so you probably want to use a little repellent.
Will this stay of manageable size?
Yes.
Because again, for containers.
It dies. You can use it in a container or you can put it in the bed. It dies down in the winter, comes right back.
Oh, it's
pretty. It's nice and full and blooms off and on throughout the season.
This is a familiar one, the begonia. I knew that one, and that's a shade.
This is a wonderful plant. Goes for a long time, very hardy. It's
Those leaves
great
are so
for high
beautiful.
shade, bright light in the ground or in a container, and usually it'll go on through the fall into an early winter as long as the temperature stays mild. And it comes in pink or red.
Beautiful.
So it's just a really, really great way to add color to a garden, or just a little entranceway.
And you've got some cactus and all of that too, which is kind of cool in this bed to our right.
This is our little garden, and this plant right on the end.
The hens and chicks?
No, it's called Doryanthes. And we
Okay.
bought it as an annual, but it's perennialized, and it's gone through, this is its second year, and it's prolific bloomer, spreads easy.
You can see on the other side, it's kind of cascading down over the railroad tie.
2 plants.
For real?
Yes.
Oh my, well, it likes where it is.
Yeah, it's very prolific. But this is for someone who doesn't have a lot of moisture and has a lot of sun. You just turn some gravel into the soil, and you can utilize agaves and succulents. Perfect for a low maintenance garden.
Very nice. Is the Portulaca, I know we've got to run, I'm getting the signal, but that's another one that can be in a bed
very
or
low
in
maintenance
a container
and, yes,
also.
but the deer do like that.
They do.
Whereas the Pentas, great for butterflies, great color.
Carol, thank you so much. Of course, if you've got any questions, these are the folks to come see, because they can help you create a beautiful summer garden that is heat tolerant and pretty much low maintenance.
We may not be heat tolerant, but the flowers
But these guys are. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us at this special episode of Girl Talk. We will see you next time.
Come garden with us.